Bro, you a funny ass nigga. Sure. Who? You got a Patrick Ewing? Oh my god. This nigga's getting carried. The card just came out. What cars does Medi have? Wait, why y'all acting like Medi got a fire ass team? I need that Jamal Crawford. You talk about that. What's his name? I want that Jamal Crawford. Bruh. Mm.
Every day I come late, wash my clothes in the same sink. I don't give a damn about what they think, long as I pay rent. I don't even want about my paycheck. I know it's short, but I'm making, 'cause it could be a worse situation. All that glitters ain't gold, and all that shines bright ain't a diamond. All that wrinkles is in no, and as far as you see ain't the horizon. Death and desire to live on an island. We keep on trying, we'll end up dying. Every day I leave late, I wait out front in the same place, and I don't give a damn about what they say, long as the day ends. I made some plans with some good friends, I didn't even know where the day went, but it could be a worse conversation. Yo, there's a roach on the floor, right there. All that glitters ain't gold, and all that shines bright ain't a diamond. And all that wrinkles isn't old, and as far as you see ain't the horizon. Death and desire to live on an island, to live on an island. We keep on trying, we keep on trying, we'll end up dying. Everybody want a motherfucking Benz or Beamer.
Alright, guys.
Shit is deeper than Neiman. Market so your Hollywood starlets underneath this nigga starving.
Benz or Beamer, designer sneakers.
Trump don't give a fuck. Your niggas don't give a fuck. Your favorite artists don't give a motherfucking fuck. Do you give a fuck, nigga?
Anyways, guys, so today I'm going to make a flyer. I've been blowing this off for a few days. My cousin hit me up to make a Kid Boys flyer. If you do know what Kid Boys is, then that's cool. If you don't, then that's cool. Oh wait, I'm wildin'. Right, you can only listen on ice at a time. Yeah, so my cousin asked me to do a Kid Boys flyer for him. I've been procrastinating it for a bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that today for you guys. I have my Photoshop pulled up. I will show you the information he sent me. This is really this. He sent me this. I don't know why it's so fuzzy. It's probably because I took a grab from my from me MacBook. So yeah. Anyways, he said, "What's up, bro? I need a flyer and a logo made. The flyers for Kid Boys. We're going to start running weekly pickups, so we need it in the tuck. Tuck just means in the stash, essentially. So it's Kid Boys Club. Open pickup time 8 p.m. Location 5 Points Marta Station. So this is the information he provided me. He also provided me with a couple of examples, or like, you know, inspiration is what I call it when I'm designing stuff like this. So I can show it to y'all now. He sent me this right here. Also, so as far as I know of Kid Boys, it's the second one that's on the screen, the one more towards the right, is what it really reminds me of. That's what Kid Boy really is, what it demonstrates. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the Kid Boys website. I think I'm gonna go with something similar to this, especially with the logo he gave me that they have right here. I'll put on the screen as well. Definitely gonna play off of this circle right here. And I'll show you guys how to put words around circles and things like that, which is something that I feel like I'll be interested in as well. So this is all the information they provided me with. The Kid Boys logo, date, time, location, etc. 2 examples, see right here, and the information. So this is what I've provided. This is all we're gonna go off of. So some of the things that I'm going to do, I'll try to explain as best as possible. Other things, it'll really be a little bit harder to explain. So what I'm going to do is put the Kid Boys website on the screen and show you guys like what I do. So when developing flyers or logos for businesses and brands, I prefer to look through what they already have. So I'm gonna look through the Kid Boys website, their clothes, maybe even find my background image on here. If not, I'll go find it somewhere else. But yeah, so I'm on the Kid Boys site now. So we'll go to shop. Title what? So I'm pretty familiar with Kid Boys, jerseys, everything like that. Super dope. So I think what I'm going to do is just trying to see if there's an image on here that I already like, so I can just grab, or do I have to? I think I might have to find one myself. See, but this right here is really dope. So I'm gonna enter the website. How did I get to that? Okay. So I'm gonna grab one of these images off of here for my background image. Probably I get background images from multiple places, especially when I'm doing flyers, you know, Tumblr, Google, things like that. Because when it comes to flyers, there's really no copyright restrictions, because you're not using that. It depends, but usually you're not using that in a way to gain money besides the payment you're receiving. They're not really using that as in like, oh, I'm gonna go and sell this. So the promotional flyers and advertisements, you don't really have to worry about copyrights. So I personally just grab images. So I think I'm gonna go with one of the inspirations he sent me, which is this one right here. I think I'm gonna mainly run with this. Looks like just a picture of some soccer cleats with some grain on it. As you can see, they got logos going everywhere. I'm definitely gonna implement the Kip Boys logo in a way where I'll demonstrate how to do it, and how you can get things like that going. So right now, what I will do is find my background image. And right now, I'm not sure if one of these Kip Boy images would work per se, just because I don't want a face in it. Because when there's a face in something like this, it distracts you from what's really going on the flyer, like some of the details. So you try to use images or things that don't have too much detail in them. So I do have a folder for background images that I already have. I don't think I have anything that would work for a soccer image or a soccer poster, so I believe I might have to go ahead and find another one. Oh, this was the inspiration for that Korean BA Studios logo, by the way. If anybody was interested, no. A vintage Coca-Cola logo is where I got the idea from, but vamped it up into myself, obviously. But yeah, let's get back to what's at hand. So, I'm going to see if I already have a background image that would work. I was thinking about finding one without you guys, I'm sorry, but I decided not to. I feel like that'd be a lot more enjoyable for you guys to really see how I operate in this. So I'm thinking I don't have one. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to show you guys how I personally would find a background image for posters such as this, and things. Let's see. When you're looking for background images, sometimes you have to play around with what you search. So I might search soccer cleats ad for the images. Things like that might work. But you see, with this, it's more towards just actual cleats. So do soccer art, that might work as well. Like this is dope. But this, like I said, you don't want to have too much going on in your image. So personally, I wouldn't use something like that. But soccer cleat art. Let's see if that works. So what I can do is, I believe I was looking at it earlier. I'm about to put you on game. This is where I get 99% of all of my background images, Pinterest. I have a folder where I have a lot of background images saved already, which you've seen. 99% of those are from Pinterest. This is what my Pinterest account looks like. And as you can see, I already had started searching up some stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this right here, which isn't bad. But as you can see, the quality of this image is, so I personally would stray away from that. Make sure when you're looking at things like that too, you're looking at the quality, because that's really what defines your artwork. You don't want to have something with bad quality all over your stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and
it's really just me and my team, not from Philly, but we chasing our dream. No introduction, cause I've been on the scene. I hang with bosses when you hang with the fiends.
Anyways, I'm going to see where I can best soccer. And I have it like this right here. But again, that quality is not the best. we can see if they have anything else that I personally would enjoy.
Until I'm pushing up and take it. And if they do not fuck with it now, guarantee they gon' fuck with it later. Tony Hawk, I stay on my grind. Don't ask for handout or the favors. Wake up and I pray to my God. Say thanks to my Lord and my Savior. He put the passion in my heart. Never know what his music will take you. Being myself, no, I didn't have to fake it.
That's what I had searched up. Okay.
Keep the pole and he ready to spray you. Have you ducking bullets just like the Matrix. Cause they be stealing my drip. Stealing my drip. Stealing my drip. They stealing my drip. Yeah, they stealing my drip. Stealing my drip, boy.
But in a much higher resolution. Well, actually, this isn't bad. But as you see, it's a boys. So personally, stray away from artwork. This also isn't bad right here. I'm actually gonna go with this image right here. So obviously, you can just right click, save image to downloads. You want to save it somewhere else, save image as. Open the image in the tab, download link file, as. That's really. So I'm gonna go ahead and run with that. Go ahead and hit create new. And once you've opened create new, the normal size for a flyer, in my opinion, I go 2000 by 2000, which I already have preset right here. 99% of the time, this is what I use. Make sure you're going 300 pixels per inch. Like I said, you want to have the best quality for your artwork. So 300 pixels, I'm gonna go ahead and name it. You can name the file whatever you're working on. I'm working on a Kit Boys flyer, so I'm gonna go ahead and name it Kit Boys flyer. Yeah, so we have a blank image. The background's currently blank. You can't tell that because I have it set to white. I can work on top of it. So go ahead and go to wherever you saved your blank file as. Mine is here in my downloads. Go ahead and just drag it in, and you can resize it. Some images might already be the size you're looking for, some might not. But as you can see, when I'm making my image bigger, setting off some of my artwork. So what we're gonna do for that is we're gonna go ahead and press enter. We can hit that check mark. Show you again. When you drag it in, resize it. I like to just go ahead and put it in one of the corners. You can set it. This right. You can go ahead and make it as large as you like. Just make sure that you're at least covering a bit extra of the area, and you can go ahead and hit this check mark here. Once you've done that, you'll see, make sure that you're on the move tool, and up here you should see auto select layers, show transformation controls. Please make sure that's checked on. When you're working on flyers, you want to make sure that your transformation controls are on so that you can operate and maneuver any object without having to do, or actually resize anything. And so right here, I don't even know what's the best word to call them, but these are actions you can choose that will automatically align whatever you have selected with the background. So I have this artwork on top of my background, so if I click right here, which is aligned to horizontal center, it'll align my artwork exactly at the middle, making everything proportional. If I want to do that for the bottom, I go over here and align vertically. Do that right there. So if that's how you like your artwork, you can leave it as that, or you can adjust it some more, turn it to the left if you want that, and some more if you want the soccer ball over there a little bit. You can go ahead and do that. So going and looking back at the example he sent me, this has a bit of grain onto it. I'm also going to add a couple more things to that make it a little bit more funky. So to add grain to something, you can go up here to filter, and there's a lot of different ways to do it personally. I like to go to camera raw filter, right here. It'll open up this large window, right? So it'll open this window, which will bring whatever layer you have selected into a different window so you can edit it. So come here and go, yes. So, and you go to presets all the way to the right. One of the options down here will be grain, right? So you want to go ahead and lower that down and go ahead and click medium. or heavy, depending on how much grain you want. It's the one that you select. I personally, on this artwork right now, I'd probably go medium just because I don't want it to be too grainy. When you have it too grainy, it looks like the quality. So some images you don't want to go too high, some images you don't want to go too low. So I personally am going to go with medium grain. Another thing that I'll do is maybe play around with some of these. You can lower the exposure on the image. You can add some highlights, brighten it up a bit. You have some shadows, which take the blacks down. You can actually change the blacks. You can all the black in the image a bit darker, anything similar to that, such as edge as well. So yeah, you can do that. I personally am going to turn down the shadows a little bit just to make that shade around him a bit darker. I might play around with the highlights, might not, but there's a better way to play with that to make an image fully darker. I'll show that in a second. So once you have your grain on there and your shadows, whatever you want to put, you can go ahead and hit enter. Okay, at the bottom screen, and I'm going to show you guys another way to add something like threshold or something like that on top of it. So if you go to the bottom right, this is where your layers and your channel should be, right? There are several options at the bottom. One of the options we're going to go over is create a new fill or adjustment layer. So an adjustment layer is basically a layer on top of whatever you're working on, and it's an adjustment, which is like shadows. You can add different lighting. You can add a solid color, vibrance, hue, saturation, several different things that I can't go too into depth to. That'll take way too long. So I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you exactly what I would personally do. So over this, there's several different ways. You can add a solid color, which is probably the simplest way to get a darker shade on top of this. So you can put words and things in front. So I'll go solid color, which is at the top. And this color picker will open up, which essentially will let you choose whatever color you'd like. I'm gonna go black, obviously. So once you have that, make sure that it's on top of your background. My background image, which actually going to go ahead and make sure that this is on top. So if it's on the bottom, just pick it up. Make sure you're not clicking over here. Well, you can, but try not to click on the link it'll mess it up. So click on the right side of your layer. Go right on top. Move that right on top of it. And then you have your black layer, right? And so right click on it and click rasterize layer. Alright, that gives you the option to be able to adjust it, move it, make it smaller, larger, bigger, whatever you want to do. On full size, obviously. So what you're going to want to do is decide what kind of overlay you want. These are the different kinds in this but right here, this drop down menu, there are several different options you can have where you can choose what this does on top of it. Black's not really going to give you many options with those, but like you put an overlay, see the different effects it's having, things like that. So different colors will give you different effects. But personally, all I'm going to do is, like I explained in the last episode, opacity is how visible something is, how well you can see it. So the lower the opacity, the less you can see. The higher the opacity, the more you can see. So you want to see the background image more than the black, right? So personally, all I'm going to do is turn down my opacity a bit. I'd say about 30. I'll go with 30 right now, for now. You can come back and adjust that if you'd like. I might come back and adjust it. You never know, depends. So now that we have our background image, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the show transform controls for now. And what I usually do is to keep my menu on the right where all my layers are a bit more organized and easier to manage. I personally will select both of these, and to select two layers at one time, all you have to do is hold command and click on the layers that you want, right? And because these two are linked together, I'm going to go ahead and right here, if you go right here, you hover over it, it'll say new group, create a new group. So you're going to go ahead and create a group and it groups the 2 layers or however many layers you have selected as one. So I'm gonna go ahead and rename this to background, so it's just a bit easier to manage. She shape it look just like an athlete, damn. Oh, we need 10 minutes in the backseat, yeah. I'm doing 120, ain't no catching me. Late night in that shit, I look how fast it be. I'm like, oh, like what's the hold up? What's your fantasy? She said she loved the No Limits, this ain't masterpiece. I like almost forgot. When I was broke, so had the baddest thing. Pop a bottle just for all my love and all my happiness. Fuck a hater 9 to 5, cause they can't micromanage me. This the shit I'm kicking till I'm old inside the palaces. Don't switch up. I say no switching. I got hoes in love. You see the gold in it. They get close to me. Just get low to me. Now they looking from afar. They think they know it's me. When we do that shit, it's outstanding. When we do that shit, it's outstanding. When she do that shit, it's outstanding. When she do that shit, don't make no damn sense. Like that money coming rolling with my hands. Never too much on that table. I can't manage. I'm trying to paste this into the bio, but it won't. Oh damn it, there it went. Oh, there it goes. So yeah. Alright, anyways, I'm sorry about that, guys. So once you've grouped them together, now it's time to do everything on top of this layer. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the files I had before in my Kid Boys Flyer Live. Oh yeah. So as it shows in here, there's the Sunday football clubs going around the circle and the established 2018 right? So I'm gonna definitely play off of this with this Kid Boys logo that I have. I was sent. So as you can see in this Kid Boys image right here, it's also a circle. So I'm gonna go ahead and definitely play off of this. I'm gonna go ahead and put this Kid Boys logo essentially in the same circle and have my text going around it. I'm gonna show you guys how to put your text around a shape slash path. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and drag this PNG image into our document. Like I said, all you have to do is take it from your files, drag it in. Pretty simple. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure this is in the middle. So black doesn't really go on top of this right here. As you can see, it's kind of hard to grab your attention. If I'm scrolling on my Instagram page and I see this with a black image, it's gonna be pretty hard for me to see. So me personally, what I'm going to do is change this to white. Plain and simple. Just because I feel like that's a lot easier to see. So I'm going to show you how to change. Also show you how to change I'll just change a logo into a different color. Pretty like it's a very simple task. So I learned this. I don't remember where. I think I saw somebody doing it on YouTube or something. But this is a pretty simple way of changing a logo into any color that you want. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the rectangle tool, which I believe if you're just starting up Photoshop, it won't be selected. Go ahead and grab the rectangle tool and hover over whichever shape. Make sure you're selected on whatever you're trying to change the color. And just take the rectangle and put it over whatever design you have or whatever. Well, it doesn't work for images, only designs, no background. So go ahead and select that. And what you're gonna want to do is go back over here where your layers are and press, what is this, Control? Oh, I'm sorry. Press Alt, which I believe that's for Windows, and Options for a MacBook, and just click. Simple. Undo it. You can undo it using the same actions. Pretty simple task, not that hard. So yeah, if you go, either way, you're changing the background image. So now that we have it white, what you can do is, I like to also do right here, make sure that you group them together. Like I said before, all the Kid Boys logo, just so that it's easier to manage my layers. Make sure that you're doing that, right? So I've changed the Kid Boys logo into white, which I personally, let's zoom out, looks much better, right? A lot easier to see, way easier to see. So what we're gonna go down here and do is, we're gonna go back to the rectangle tool and we're gonna select the ellipse tool, which is this circle. So grab the ellipse tool, right? And we're going to also make another circle. Hold shift down to make a perfect circle, right? How you make a perfect circle. If you go ahead and do one without holding shift, you form it into an oval, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what this little circle is. But without holding shift, this is what you get. Holding shift, will always get a perfect circle. No matter how small you go, how big you go, it will always be a perfect symmetrical circle. Circle symmetrical? Not sure. But so to get text to go around a shape in Photoshop, you have to come up here to the top left corner, right? Once you have your shape selected, and click path. Because the shape that you're making is going to be a path for the text to follow along around. That makes sense. I feel like that didn't make sense. But yes, so that's how you build the, make sure you build a circle as a path, right? So what you're gonna wanna do is come to your text, horizontal text tool, doesn't matter, vertical, whatever you wanna call it, and take your, I don't even know what to call this, your cursor on the path of the shape and press it. Pretty simple task, right guys? So we're gonna go ahead and pick a font. Let's pull up this image right here, and maybe we'll go something similar to this. Sunday Football Club. Let's see. Looks like a pretty. I think I might funk it up a little bit. Personally, go ahead and white. Not sure why it's pink. So you can change. Also, you can change your color of anything pretty easily. The white up here, white right here. So I'll show you guys one more time how to put something along a path, right? I'll show you how to put text around a path. So make sure you have your ellipse tool selected, right? And make sure that it's on path in this top left corner. Build your shape, holding shift to make sure that it's a perfect circle. Hold shift to make sure it's a perfect circle, right? Build it. See how there's no actual shape here. Go ahead and go back to your text option. And you see how when I'm right here, there's a square around my cursor, right? Or on my text cursor. Go ahead, when you get right here, you zoom in. I'll zoom in a little bit more so you can see it a little bit. You click right here. See that little, I guess it's like a curvy line. It's a little curvy line. That's how you can get your, when you see that, that's how you know that your text is going to be around your shape, right? So if you go ahead and click there, that's how you get your text around the shape. Alright guys, make sure that your circle is a path or this will not work. You have to do no options with your text. Just make sure that your shape is a path. You can do this any shape. I'll show you guys now. I'll make the shape. Let's see what shape I'll make. You can go polygon, I guess. There's a path, guys. Make sure that it's a path. You hold shift to make it a perfect shape as well, right? Take your text option and make sure that you're right along the lines of the path. You see that? See how my text is going around my polygon? That's exactly how you get your text to go around any shape. All right. So that's how that works. And now we're going to use that to go around this circle of the Kid Boys logo. All right. So I'll show you guys one more time with a different shape, I guess. We can go ahead and go with, I don't know what shape to go with. We can go. So the rectangle. So rectangle, right? It's a path. Make sure it's a path right up here. It's path, shape, and pixels. Make sure you go with path, right? And you can also have it to go inside of your shape, which is you click inside of the box. I forgot to also tell you guys that. So let's go. Let's go. Let's build a circle, right? Put another circle. And we have this circle, right? And you want your text to be in a perfect circle. You want it to be in a shape, so anything outside of this shape is not visible. So take your text, and as long as you're inside of the circle, put it right there. It'll be inside of your shape. Anything outside of that shape will not be visible. I'm sorry. So make sure that you always make sure that your shape is a path when you're doing something like this. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and build my perfect circle to match the Kit Boys logo, right? And actually, when I do this, I'm going to try and get the same. You want to try, if you're going to do it around the logo, you want to try and make sure it's the same size as whatever you're going to build it. Oh, we gotta have auto select on them. Sorry, guys. Oh, it's a path. I'm sorry. Hey, look, yo, okay, concrete since day one. Ain't no time to make up. Ain't no time for that hoop. Like baby, where the A cup. You guys want to make sure that it's on a path. Remember that. Make sure it's a path. Hold shift to build your shape, right? I'm going to build my circle. I'm going to take my text tool and I'm going to type along the line of my path. Along the line of my path, right? And I'm going to spell out whatever I'm trying to put. Kit Boys Club, right? But obviously this font doesn't really work for what I'm going for, especially with the large letters and it's kind of a cursive font. So I'm going to open my font option tool and I'm going to select one of the fonts that I have. I have a lot of fonts just because I do a lot of designing. In the last video, I gave you guys the website to get the fonts from, which you can do as well. I don't have it in this description, but I can do that once I finish the stream. So anybody who's watching this after it's been reported can tap in. So Kit Boys Club, I'm gonna go ahead and go with one of my favorite fonts called the bold font. I just feel like it fits the Kit Boys look a lot, you know, so I'm gonna go ahead and go with this. So you see my text is a little spaced out, right? So all my letters are really spaced out right now. So what you're gonna want to do is on your Photoshop, I am running the same Photoshop that you guys will have when you initially started. You're gonna have this option here, which is characters, right? So characters is everything that has to do with text, essentially. There's also the properties is right here, which also works with character, but I mean properties is for any object. So even if I go down here and I go to this rectangle, there's properties, right? When I go back to the Kit Boys, there's a lot of space in between my letters, and I don't really like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna highlight all my words. And there are several options here in characters, or you can do it in properties. It doesn't matter. I'll personally show you in properties just because it's probably simpler. In properties, there's several options. There's also the option to change your font right here. You'll have all your fonts as well, as well as up here. You can change the size of your font. If you want to make it smaller, I'm at 48 right now, 47. So I can go down to 36, make it a bit smaller. Oh, I was on the wrong option. So 36, make it a bit smaller, right? So 24 is good. So I have my size at 24, and I still feel like my text is spaced out, right? So I'm gonna highlight all this, and there's an option right here right? Which is the spacing between your letters. So if I go like this, all my letters are blocked up. Go like this, all my letters are really spaced out. So depending on what size you put it at is where spacing is. So I personally just do it based off of my own vision. I think that's good. Put another piece right. So now we have the Kid Boys Club, right? And make sure I have it tapered to ever freaking go out a bit. Over a bit, rotate it a bit more because I don't like angle that. So look, now we have Kid Boys, right? Kid Boys Club. Go ahead and press enter. You can turn it off or leave it on if you like. So I have Kid Boys Club, as you can see. You can put the space in between the letters. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and do that just because I feel like it's simpler. So I'm going to go ahead and okay. So what I'm going to do is going to open up the transform again. Put some space in my letters. I mean, save my path. And
what are you doing all day?
I remember
circle. Go ahead and rotate it a bit more if you want it. A bit more perpendicular, I guess it's. So now I have the Kid Boys Club, right? If you zoom out, I feel like that looks pretty nice, in my own opinion. I'm not sure about you guys. So I have the Kid Boys Club going above the top. And I believe at the bottom, let me see what information he also provided me with. I think I'll go with I think I'll go open pickup at the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this path. I have to make a path opposite.
Not that I'm hiding, it's just safe for being silent these days.
Chris, nigga, I tell you what, take care.
Yeah, I have to make another.
And I don't want to see your face since you can't
Almost was mistaken. So go ahead and make another shape. Oh, did not hold shift when I did that one. So go ahead and open the ellipse tool. Oh.
Don't want to feel you, don't want you on my mind. Don't want to feel you, don't want you on my mind.
Photoshop this.
Don't want to feel you, don't want you on my
oh.
mind. On my mind.
Anyways, I accidentally made the wrong oval. Pretty ugly. So we can go ahead and delete that. We're gonna go ahead and take another path with our ellipse tool. Holding shift. That circle. You can go ahead and put your text on it. Okay, guys. So go ahead and make sure you get your ellipse tool. Go try and make it the same size for whatever you're working with, or if you're just building your own path to begin with, that'll work too. That what was it? Open runs, right? Open run. I'm not sure. So yeah, that's how you do that. So I got the Kid Boys Club logo at the top, right? So with the inspiration he gave me, I'm gonna try not to be too I'm going to try not to copy too much of it. So there's a lot of spacing between the letters, which I actually like. So I think I'm going to add a bit more spacing. There. I'm going to go ahead and add a bit more spacing. So go back to the same tool I gave you guys before. Don't forget. Same tool I gave you guys before to use to spread out the text of it. See how this is even? I like this B is a bit more ahead of that. So I'm going to go ahead. So I got the Kid Boys Club at the top. Right. Now it's time to add the excess information that he provided me. Pretty simple logo. So we're going to keep it running. So Kid Boys open pickup time 8 p.m. location 5 points party station. So I'm going to go ahead and build a text box. I usually, when I'm working with flyers, I put the address all the way at the bottom, just because I feel like that should be the last thing that they read. Because once they're interested, they're going to read everything on the flyer. So I personally put the address at the bottom. 5 points Marty Station. So 5 points Marty Station is the only but I feel like I should. I'm gonna put it in parentheses in case anybody is part of creation. So with the same tools that I was telling you about before, to put something in the middle and put something in the beginning, there's a way to put something all the way at the bottom, so it'll align to the bottom edges of whatever file you have open, right? So I'll go ahead and hit this right here. It'll put the 5 points Marty Station at the bottom, right? And I personally feel like I want it a little lower. I'm gonna go ahead and put it a little bit lower than that. And also, when you have something like this and you don't want to use your actual mouse to move it, you can use your up arrows and side keys to move anything around on Photoshop. So if you want, you can go ahead and move this up with just your arrow keys, which I'm going to do, and move up just a bit, like right there. Good. So 5 points Marty Station is the location. This is a bit big, especially for something super important. So I'm gonna go ahead and have that right there. Well, all other information. Good boy, open run, open pickup time, and location 5 points. So I'm gonna go ahead and put 8 p.m. And with text is small, it's gonna be the only thing I have on here. I prefer to make it pretty small, so that when I'm transforming it to make it larger, it's not that hard to deal with. So I'm gonna go ahead. You can hit the show transform controls or Control T, whichever one you prefer, and just make it larger. There's not a lot of information going on in this flyer, so I'm gonna go ahead and put 8 p.m. And with the Kid Boys logo, I'm gonna go ahead and put the Kid Boys text with this. I'm going to select this group and select show transform. I'm gonna make this logo. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and make it bigger. Enter. Put it in. Right. Go ahead. That Kid Boys Club. Go ahead, and I think I'm going to go with something a bit more fancy. I'm gonna go ahead and go right here and go a lot larger. I'm gonna go ahead and go with open run. Oh, he actually did not provide me with the day. Let's go and pick up top. I'm gonna go ahead and he actually didn't provide me a date to put on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with open run. I'm gonna put some styles on it. Also text that too. I'm gonna go ahead. Anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the open run. Make sure I put that in the middle, right? So we're gonna play around with some styles. We're gonna see what we feel like looks good. Maybe play around with some strokes, maybe some inner glow, maybe some satin, maybe some color overlay. Probably not color overlay, but gradient overlay. You can even go pattern in on there. I feel like that looks pretty good. You can go outer glow, go drop shadow. I feel like that drop shadow looks pretty good on there. You can go bevel and emboss. So I'm gonna put a little bevel and emboss on. Like when you're doing things like this, it's all about what your own perspective. So whatever you feel like it.
Please, get on my dick, get on my dick, what in my hip, load on my clip, cannabis, roll on my split, Hannibal, look what I did, edible, got the bungees, but I got the bungees, I'ma double this shit, but I better get whipped with the pistol grip, nigga talking this shit, now I'm talking my shit, get on my dick, what in my hip, load on my clip, cannabis, roll on my split, Hannibal, look what I did, edible, got the bungees, but I got the bungees, I'ma double this shit, but I better get whipped with the pistol grip, nigga talking this shit, now I'm talking my shit. Okay, East Atlanta playboy, don't got much to say, boy, cradle to the grave, and it's been like this since a slave boy, it ain't shit to pull up, pick the fucking tool up, screaming hallelujah, pushing daisies and some tulips. Itty bitty bitch, niggas in the city with it, pull up with a stick, 30 with a dick. See you in a minute, nigga, put you in cement. Anybody get it, nigga, anybody get shot to the top, nigga, popping the shit. Got the drop on your crib in the spot you live. If you talking the shit, nigga, stop it. I'm a god, I'm a king, I'm a giant. Nigga, not trying. 40 my side, east side guy, better been more wide. DIY, I'ma try, I'ma die for what I believe in. We like to feast and I like to eat. Cannibal meat. I am not an animal, a beast. Riding with the hammer on the seat. Shotgun, hand in my heat. Badman, let my freedom, nigga, get life with the white folks be. Online beef, not my motif. 4-5 me, ta-ta, go sleep. Don't mind little me, little OG JID. I came in on the boat seat. May I be the cold nigga with the most heat. Niggas know, bro, you don't know me. Get on my dick, what in my hip, load on my clip, cannabis, roll on my split, Hannibal, look what I did, edible, got the bungees, but I got the bungees, I'ma double this shit, but I better get whipped with the pistol grip, nigga talking this shit, now I'm talking my shit. Get on my dick, what in my hip, load on my clip, cannabis, roll on my split, Hannibal, look what I did, edible, got the bungees, but I got the bungees, I'ma double this shit, but I better get whipped with the pistol grip, nigga talking this shit, now I'm talking my shit.
Okay, legend out the 2-6, y'all know who the truth is. Crazy like a movie by that nigga Stanley Kubrick. Perfect time to pop up, wet you like the hot tub. Clean up aisle 7, damn somebody getting mopped up. Pull up on the block, eeny, meeny, money, mo. You and every nigga that you know is getting pop. Fucking with a nigga, ain't sitting in the box. Try to sneak this, then I'm picking up the Glock. I squeeze this, I be picking up the top. Stop shit, kiss, yeah, I'm picking all the locks. Picking on nigga way bigger than I got. Picking on a nigga that was killing, got a top. Terminator shit, I'm a robot with the chrome 4-5.
So something like this would be something that I sent to them. I don't have that many details, no time, no place, no fees, any fees are involved, money, cost, anything like that. So I feel like this is pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and export this as a JPEG, and for fun, how long have I been going? 5 minutes. I'm going to do a pretty quick run of another one. How about that? So I'm gonna go ahead and export this. So that one's been exported, right? So gonna have some real fun now. I'm gonna go ahead and do a pretty not complex, but a little bit more advanced than I would suggest for any of you guys. I'm going to go ahead and use one of my effects. Go ahead and which effect shall I choose? Which one do I think would look good with a soccer logo? I'm also going to select another background, just because I'm gonna have two versions. I can't have two of this. Quality of this is not that bad. Right here, or if I can find something I really like this. If this is quality to, you know, things like this is what I like. Very nice. Bit too hard on the actual realization of the paint for me, especially when I'm doing a flyer. Hard to put text and fonts over things like that because they have to look like they go with what you're working with. So something like that, I personally won't go with. If I can find any different, no, I think I will. But we can see. Kind of what I wanted to play over. But not that I sent. I think I'm gonna go with the other one. That was inspiration. Okay, he sent me this, which is pretty nice. I'm going to go and some soccer players. Something that you could search up similar to that would be soccer players. Drawing. Or cartoons or something. But if I don't find drawings look a little bit too realistic for a thing that's trying to take a rendition of this, I think I'd go with cartoons instead of drawing like that. That's also not either. Find my so that's a. But I'm looking for something a bit. These images. But with these, it's a bit hard. See, let's I could draw them myself. That would take entirely too. What I also could do is take this actual background, this actual flyer, and change all the words on it. Something I so, but I'm not gonna. I don't like that nature. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep trying to find background image that will work. Really like this image. Not sure why, but I actually really enjoy that image there. So I think it's what I'll run with. So go ahead and see if I will quality of with something like this. I don't want the image soccer ball to be this large, right? I kind of want it to be going across the side, where it's like right about this. Other half.
Give me a day where I can play and I can pamper my wrist.
Right? So go ahead and so something like this, as you can see, there's a lot of missing product essentially on my background. I'm gonna show you guys a quick way to fill in gaps of a image that you want to have. So you can come right here, and there's something called the clone stamp. I'll hover over. As you can see, I don't know if you guys can see that little image there. It's basically filling in something that's gone. So what I'm going to do is press Alt on your computer, Option on your Mac, and it'll select a sample from whatever image. So if I select that, if I select right here, right? Make sure you rasterize it. And I go like that, it'll fill in right here. Size of your brush by going up here, or the parentheses, right parentheses to go bigger, left parentheses going on your brush, and you can fill it in right here. Obviously I selected a bad area, but let's say you want to fill this in with the green. Go ahead and select that. Fill that in. Personally, I'll change the hardness of my brush, which makes it a bit easier to fill in different color or like different colors. So like some of the greens a bit darker than the rest. So what I'll do is I'll change the hardness so that it matches up. So when I'm going in like this and things like that, it's kind of filling in what's missing. Like I said, sometimes when you're cloning, it's taking from the actual image. So if you're selecting from somewhere right here, if you select right here, right, and you put your dot right here and you keep going this way, it's going to clone from wherever you selected in that direction. So if I select from right here and I select some green right next to the ball and I fill it in right here and I keep going up, it's going to show it. If I go right here and I go down, it's going to give me the green. That makes sense. So whenever you're using a clone tool, you want to make sure you're using the best space possible with the most open area to fill in your gaps. Definitely something that you want to do. That's something that I did here. So we have this going on right here. Just filled all this area in. Got the soccer ball and the line. Like I said, I didn't want that too large because let's remove this and throw it back in, right? And place this back in, right? Or to make it the full size to fit the image. Say about this. So if we were to make it the actual size, right? We could have it going down here or max up here. Something like that would be the only way to make this work, right? Right here. And I feel like this ball is way too large. Pause. Even then, this actually doesn't look that bad, but I personally look at the difference. Yeah. And we'll keep both there just to see which one looks better. Sometimes it's better like that. You have two options, and as you keep going, I can easily take this off and look and see, oh, maybe this one looks better, or maybe this one looks better. So depending on which one you feel like looks better, you can. Don't forget, I also have these other arts. You can place all of your backgrounds on one flyer and keep working. This is terrible quality, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete that image. But something like this, you can go ahead and put there. Let's see if this looks good. Yep, quality on that's bad as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and not use that. The quality on this isn't that good either, but I feel like the aesthetic is okay. If you want to use a cover art pretty badly, and not cover art, a background image pretty badly, and it's not very good quality, just lower your pixels per inch down from 300. You can do 72 is cool, or poster for Instagram, but you definitely wouldn't want to print that out or anything like that, just because quality would be piss poor. I'm gonna go ahead and keep working. I'm gonna work with this background that I already have, which is the soccer ball being pretty small. So I have some preset effects that I have saved on my computer. I'm gonna go ahead and choose which one I'd like to use. Effects. And let's see if I can see one that I feel like would look pretty good on here. Give me 1 second.
Fucking your mind up. I right now quarters in half. Joining the band. Fucking your mind up. Yeah, I right now bitches gon' be bitches and you niggas gon' be hoes. Only private cause you heard it in the song. Yeah, bitches gon' be bitches, niggas gon' be hoes. Only private cause you heard it in the song. Yeah, quarters and halves. Joining the band. Fucking your mind up. Yeah, I write now quarters and halves. Joining the band. Fucking your mind up. I write now quarters and band. I'm motherfucking your mind up. With your mind up. The fuck with your mind up. Go be my. You need my. Go be my. Go to hell.
The smartest man alive!
I tried to tell all my friends when I was a kid that I had powers, and nobody wanted to believe me. All right. Spent the last month feeling bad by myself. I couldn't speak anything to build hope. And the day came when it hit me like lightning through my veins. A sudden change in my groove and my walk. I got my lion heart and electric flowing through my brain. The shocking waves make me feel like I can float. It's like the city.
Alright guys, I'm sorry about that. I'm back. I had to find this effect. I have this VHS home studio effect that I feel like will look pretty good on the Kit Boys look. So I'm going to go ahead and change it myself to open runs right here, right? Where it has VHS. Wait, hold on. Oh. So, actually, so I changed this to Kid Boys at the top. I'll do it myself. I actually have to grab the VHS font. Go ahead and pull the fonts up on here. Wow, definitely is not what I was looking for. VHS font or VCR. Might have to go. I want to work, or I can. But I'm gonna go ahead and make it black, so top of it's gonna be white, so we don't have to worry. I'm gonna go font. Oh, I actually have something similar to that. It's not really that. Now that I look at it, it's really not that similar. I thought it was, but it's really not. So another thing is when it won't align with these tools. Sometimes you can go ahead and press Command A, and those options will pull up as long as you have your layer selected. Put it in the middle. So, but obviously that text like. So you see the VHS effects that are here. We're gonna go ahead and copy this layer, and we're going to literally take the effects from here.
If you wanna help me to kiss me and fuck me later, gentrify all my people, attention is on the table. If you wanna help me to put me inside the coast, put the cigarette in my back, keep the hospitals over. Run, chicken little. I'm ready, gonna run off shits and giggles. Politician overzealous with the provolone-ish dibbles and incidentals. To crash the rental with God and temple and Bible. Don't nobody got no holy. Everybody got an iPhone. If you wanna help me, then kiss me and fuck me good tonight and go with tonight. LA be bright but still a dark city. Said come get your
Go ahead.
and your new titties. Said go find your doctor. You could get Kimmy. So how we used to love you. America the Great is grateful dead and life for me.
So,
Sunday morning. Obesity and heart disease. Can you hear the freedom bells? Can you see
so go ahead and export as. Save it to your desktop. And you can go back to whatever file you have open, right? Desktop, whatever PN. I'll probably have to go. But essentially, this is what this will look like. Kid Boy's open runs. I'll probably add a drop shadow to these because it'll be going over this. I don't want to make it a bit larger, so I'll probably end up making it this large, adding a drop shadow under the white so you can see it a lot better, and put the time and the date, the location and the date at the bottom here, which is essentially what I'll do. Hold on, let me give y'all the end result.
Stanley, when you grow up, you gonna be like your dad. A free man in the land of the noose. They ain't tell me how to cry, just shoot. I did. They only taught me how to check her pulse. She did. When I went as like a professional trying to find me a therapist, they taught me how to say amen, amen.
So yeah, and add a drop shadow here. You play with the distance. So I like the drop shadow I have here, so I'm gonna go ahead and just copy it to all of them that I see. I'm gonna add this effect to shapes. They're also, so you can go ahead and word this again. Right, whatever. Delete this. Go back to your desktop and grab this. I probably won't put the cream beads because it's a client's work, but this is just for an example's reference. You can go ahead and put that there. I might move this up a bit, but I'll leave it there for now. This was my final product. With the 5 points. Marta. I might put this in black, actually. So we'll make it a bit smaller, obviously. Where? So, and then also open form. Measure. So, yes. 5 point smarter station. Go ahead. All-star font. Go 8p. And see, that's the problem with some fonts. They don't have a letters. I mean numbers. So some fonts don't have numbers, so I can't put the APM that font, but I can. So are they gonna? A lot of these fonts don't have numbers. Oh wait. Actually, I might not even need to do that. I actually was holding shift when I entered. So, you have the APM here. Go ahead and make it white. That's white. Going to repeat the same. So, make sure you duplicate. I'm not sure if you guys can hear my doorbell, but 8 p.m. Go ahead and change the color overlay, whatever you want. That is black, obviously. I'm going to make this a color. Oh yeah. This is another version of the flyer that you could possibly do. Yeah, so we have this flyer and we also have this one. We have the two flyers that I made today for the Kit Boys Club open runs. Whichever one you choose, your own option. For the final, I personally would take off the Buy Cream BA, just have the Kit Boys open runs, move it up a bit, and keep everything else the same. Might play around with that 8 p.m. a little bit more. But neither of these are the final version. These are just versions I made for you guys to see how I would work through the process. So yeah, it's been an hour and 21 minutes. I hope you guys all enjoyed my live tutorial. I will be, once I get off of here, I will record myself starting from scratch. In a quicker version, I'll probably speed ramp it so you guys to see how it would be done all in one go without the tutorial and things. And I'll post that on my Instagram along with the full real flyer version that I will drop. Probably put that out to later on this afternoon. Getting pretty late. I did not realize it was 5:22. So thank you guys for tuning into my stream. I will try and do this again sometime soon. Not sure when or what day. But I will definitely let you guys know. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Amok channel. Make sure that you subscribe to the Amok channel. Make sure that you follow me in the Amok Instagram, preferably the Amok Instagram. And make sure you turn on post notifications on the YouTube. Turn on post notifications on the Amok Instagram. I will post every time one of us goes live. Chi and D-Lo still haven't done theirs, so they'll be coming on here soon. Chi will be doing some After Effects, Premiere Pro shit. D-Lo will be making some Amok tags, things like that. So make sure y'all tap in. I know E-Man will get back on here one of these days, so make sure y'all tuned in. I appreciate everybody watching. Get my cameras right here, not right there. I appreciate everybody. Love you guys. Until next stream, God knows when that is, but until next stream.